Good afternoon. Oh, good morning. It's early in the morning. And we woke up today and there was no electricity. It's not fun when you have minus 27 outside and the temperature is dropping so fast at home. So I was making coffee for myself from cold water from the sink. So I needed my weak coffee. Puerto Rico was hit so many times with earthquakes, and this place of the world is so vulnerable with hurricanes and being poor and being now devastated by earthquakes. Our best wishes to everyone, and in Australia, and peace for the world, because you know what's happened with that Ukrainian plane. Where there are conflicts, there is so much disarray that everything is possible. And yesterday my girlfriend Cheryl, that's her picture, and she asked me about that plane. I didn't have time to make a video yesterday because my son came to do the YouTube the younger son came to download me YouTube on the different computer. So, because before I was using Leszek's computer for YouTube, for the Zoom, not YouTube, Zoom. So I was so busy with, I didn't have lunch and I eat very late dinner. So then I had horrific dreams. But Adam Stone is asking, was the Ukrainian plane crash in Tehran result of sabotage? 176 people were killed and 62 or 3 Canadians. 1/3 of the crew was Canadians, not crew, passengers. So our deepest condolences to everyone all over the world who lost someone in that crash. And yes, I am not going to lie to you. I saw this, I wrote to her, to Cheryl, yes, I think it was missile that hit this, and it was like collision in the sky. So, but I thought it was accident. Usually I see as the pictures, visions. This time I knew that it was collision, but I heard as well words accident. And someone was crying, like the person who did that is in deep depression, no matter if he is Iranian, as they are telling us. And I thought that it was someone from Iraqi side that hit that plane, thinking that it was not a plane. Whoever was hitting that plane was not aware that it's a plane. They thought that it is a missile coming their way, and that's what's happened, because that the plane flights was supposed to be suspended for that time. So, and the people on the plane were already delayed 1 hour. I remember when we were sitting many years ago and Kosovo started. We were for 6.5 hours in Frankfurt airport waiting for our plane to start. And Kosovo was a new word because we knew Yugoslavia as the country. Kosovo, whatever, what is that all about? And it was something that we were as well not comfortable with, 2 kids waiting for the plane to start and not knowing if we can be a target. What's going on? When there is a conflict, it's the conflict. But we were in Frankfurt, that was far away from the old Yugoslavia zone. Stacey Ann, will the USA change its constitution related to powers of president? So in the future they can do whatever they want. And as an answer, I saw making drawings on the beach, on the sand, and the water is coming and washing. Whatever they will be doing, excuse me. When you are waking up and it's so cold, it's so easy to get runny nose, and Cheryl just is recovering from her runny nose. Yes, they will be making changes, but they are not as strong as the real writing in the Constitution. So it will be not a big and dominant, they will be washable. At least I have seen that. Could you reveal if Trump is Russian spy? And this is Amy Penterman. And I said that before a few times already, that I believe that he is. And in the previous videos, so please watch my old videos, because some of those predictions are timeless. And yes, there was even a video, spy in the White House. So I think Trump. And as an answer, I saw two of them sitting on the plane and going next to each other from the back. So I think, and I said that I believe that Trump was paid by Russians to do this. So it's like I'm repeating. I will pull just 3 cards. King of Love. He is infatuated with Putin. His family as well. So it's not only Trump. Yeah, he will be put on the right place. He will have to take a time out eventually for that. But he will be probably in the institution more likely than in the prison. But he will be taken. He will eventually has to face the fiddler that he was doing things illegally. Michelle Binfield. Will Virginia Judge Robert Guilford release documents naming other people in Jeffrey Epstein case, like Ghislaine Maxwell and others? And there are problems, but I saw this as a boat that has glass windows on the side. So not many people will see that, because how many of us were ever on the boat that we can observe the environment under the water? And so a lot of those famous privileged people will be still kept under the water of us to see what's going on. So I think that will be the case. I watch people swimming from under the water in the swimming pool, because that was in Germany, and some ladies were completely naked. So my boys were running for the ice cream all the time. And when we discovered what was behind the ice cream, we were shocked. But, not many people can see a real picture from under the water. Yes, and that was in Germany when my kids were, Leszek was probably 12 and AJ is 6 years. So the boy were having such a big appetite for ice cream, so eventually I went to check what good ice cream is there, and they are selling ice cream. And behind there is swimming pool, bottom of the swimming pool showing the naked figures. Sorry for that digression. So not many of us, but I will pull a few cards for that one. because we want to know how if that story will ever come to the surface. So many people were in Epstein's arena and they were just part of it, not everything. They will be hiding. Again, the king got left today second time. The privileged ones, they have the power. The lovely people that we have admired, they are too strong for us to see everything. We admire them. Oh, the secrets will come out eventually. How long we have to wait? Ten of Swords. Eventually they will be facing the consequences, but it will be probably, I don't think 10 months, I think more like 10 years. It will take forever. But the number 10 is the symbol of backstabbing them, taking them into making their lives impossible to live because they will feel pain all over themselves. So it will be something that eventually will come out, but it will take a long time. Mazurka Wojciechowska. That's a Polish name, so I'm smiling. Who is blackmail? Lindsey Graham. What they have on him. And Trump has him on the short leash. So Trump has some information about his, I believe it is related for Graham that he has a lot of people are saying that he is kleptomaniac, could be that. But I think Graham has some offshore properties and money hidden in some other countries like Panama and so on. So that is the information that Trump has. Maybe Putin gave it to him. So this is more realistic than anything else, that Trump has something on Lindsey Graham, and Lindsey Graham is new man under Trump because he was completely different when he was with McCain. Linda Odegaard, that's the questioner. Will the United States go to war with Iran? The harvest of deaf people will be horrific. And I saw the machine for harvest. So it is waiting. The machine is waiting. It's not a harvest time. I hope they will be suspending the machines, because I didn't see the machine moving, but I see the machine is waiting, and that will be devastating for Americans as much as Iran. It's not that there will be on one side casualty. The casualties will be on both sides. The plane was already a casualty of that unpredicted decision of Trump. Because if he wouldn't make a mess over there, that plane wouldn't be shut down. He should be taking some responsibility for things like that. Linda Odegaard as well, the same. Will Trump be removed? I think that she had, yeah. Will Trump be removed from the office? I have seen a lot of generals standing and confronting Trump in the Oval Office, and he is going to the wall feeling unprotected. So eventually the army will be forced to stand up to him. They will have enough of crazy uncle destroying the party. They will have to face him and take him out of the room. That's my prediction, and I will pull a few cards so I'm not completely relying on my vision. Yeah, the vision that I had about the plane, I honestly was thinking that it was the Iraqi side, like Americans or Iraqis, that they shoot that plane. But we are hearing today that that was Iranians. But we are talking now about, will Trump be removed from the office? And I said that they will restrict him. They will put restriction on his hands. They will hold his hands. Hard work. It will take a lot of people to stand up to him. The ones who love America. Or there will be a collision of both parties will be standing together. It's not only that Democrats will have enough of that. I feel that Republicans eventually will start seeing how dangerous he is on his position. Well, not for a while. They will be trying to pretend that they have blindness, but eventually they will have to make him to feel that he is vulnerable. They will put chains on him, and one more card. Yeah, and they will show that he depends on Russia. Everything what he is doing, he is destroying NATO, and now he wants Canadian soldiers to stand up on his side. He wants both sides of. He don't know what he wants. Honestly, sometimes I think he is not aware what he wants. And Celia Torres. Since McConnell has the votes to start the impeachment trial without witnesses, will Bolton testify? And long time ago, Leszek asked me the same question, will Bolton testify? And I said, he would love to, but he will be pretending that he don't want to. So this time, I see a Bolton in waiting room, like a doctor's office or some office, and he is putting his head in the doorway, opening the door, and I'm here, I'm waiting. So I think eventually he will have to testify, no matter how, but he is ready to testify. And if someone is waiting, we are usually polite and let him to come in eventually. This one is funny. Will Trump's sons go to military? And as an answer, I saw them as a little boys, and I want to pee. No, I don't think they will have the guts to do it. They will have other reason to not to be in the battle. They will pretend like Daddy did, that they have a reason, or they have bladder problems or whatever, but they will be pretending that they can't go. Clea Linden. Do you see improvement treatment for Parkinson's disease? I know that the clue is in the both sides of the brain. So I saw the both sides of the brain. And my youngest son, it's not his job to be a boxing trainer, but it's his hobby, it's his passion. He started boxing behind my knowledge when he made my signature, and he was going to the club since he was 15. He can't live without boxing. That gives him the enthusiasm for life and blah, blah, blah. But boxing is so good for people with Parkinson. In California, they started that documenting that people who are exposed to boxing and they are using both hands for boxing, they're repairing somehow the brain connection in the brain. Most people who are affected by Parkinson, they don't use both hands too often. I don't know if I'm correct, but one guy said most farmers have Parkinson's. So they, in my son's club, when he is working with people with Parkinson, he has a lot of confidence in that theory, and it helps. I met some of his people that he trained, and one lady said, "Look, I'm walking and I was on a wheelchair." And her friend as well, he is saying the same with me. We can now come for the tournament and watch before we will be on a wheelchair. So it reverses. I'm not saying that it's completely curable, but it has some ways to improve. So try to do some sport that will involve both hands, not only one. And boxing, it's making you to be involved both sides of the brain. They throwing you balls, they make you to jump, so everything is in that training related to helping people with Parkinson. My son's younger son is known as Roman, so it's not his real name, it's his second name, but he likes to go under that name. The day, Radley. Iran just attacked USA base in Iraq. Is this going to escalate into a war between the two of us? So I said it will be the machine that will be waiting for the harvest, but the harvest might be just harvest for bodies, so I hope not, but they will be doing a lot of damages, small damages, killing some people on the cruise, or killing some people, or destroying hacking the email, the internet. So there will be ways that they will be showing Americans that what they can do. Like they attack Iraq bases, American bases, but they told them half an hour before, get away from there because we will be attacking. So it was not attack. It was like, we want to show you how good we have how good is our equipment, so don't mess with us. So Trump a little bit cool off. I'm not seeing him to being that eager to attack Iran. So maybe he needs a cold water on his head. FMA, will people who attempt Trump's mega rallies be safe? And as an answer, I saw a lot of protection, overprotective. There will be check. So I think the ones who are going for those rallies will be still, but there might be less of them coming because they might be afraid of some consequences. Okay, thank you so much for watching me. Thank you for spending time with me. I really appreciate that. Today my blood pressure was jumping from one side to another. I was so much under the stress. And I thought, I have to do the video so it will cool me down. And it does. When I'm talking to you, I feel like I'm in different zone. Something different is going on in my life. So I appreciate that I'm allowed to be in your lives and that you are watching me. See you next time. Thank you for booking appointments with me. That gives me as well. Talking about other things that are not from my, my problems at home, so I'm fine with that. So I'm happy to and I have to do the GST taxes, so I will go and start working on it. Thank you. Everything the best for Australia and for all the people who are suffering with different tragedies.